In what could be a step in fulfilling a commitment made by Kim Jong-un to President Trump 6 weeks ago at their historic summit, new satellite images appear to show North Korea dismantling its main missile testing site. So is this a true sign of progress on denuking the country? Here to weigh in, Fox News national security strategist and former deputy assistant to the president, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Sebastian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay, so what do you make of the fact that it looks like they're pulling the plug on that facility?
Well, if the reports are true, if the satellite images are being interpreted correctly, it's very significant because these actions apparently occurred in the last 2 weeks. So this is post the Singapore summit. This had to be a tangible decision by Kim, the Politburo, the upper echelons of the North Korean regime, which would be part of the concrete follow-up to that meeting with the president. I think, you know, one of the biggest things that has happened since Singapore is the cancellation of the annual anti-American parade by Pyongyang, because that's a very public thing. I mean, the people have expectations for that ideology-laden event. The government publicly stopped it. They suspended that parade. But this is the brass tacks. This is the real deal when it comes to North Korea's capability to launch ballistic missiles.
I would imagine the President of the United States is frustrated that the pace of the denuking is so slow. And so that's why yesterday when the news was maybe they're pulling the plug on that site, maybe this is a good faith effort on their part to show that they are doing something.
Yeah, I've used the phrase often with regards to the president and his team that he moves at the speed of Trump. That he does things with an alacrity, with a speed that we are just not used to here in the swamp. You look at the last year and a half, the things that he has achieved in just a year and a half, most presidents would be happy with after 8 years in office. But yes, I think as a businessman who's results-oriented, he's probably a little frustrated. But in terms of international deals on arms control, this is pretty fast, actually, Steve.
Well, what do you make of the president yesterday in Kansas City at the VFW convention when talking about Iran now? He said, you know, that country is no longer what it used to be, and now we're ready to make a deal, not like the last deal the last administration did, but a real deal. What's he saying there? Are we getting closer? Did that Twitter tirade actually work? First coming from the Iranians and then going back toward the president?
I've always said that's how you talk to dictatorships. Dictatorships don't care about nice protocol language and fancy, you know, meetings in Geneva or Vienna. You hit them hard. You talk straight to them. I think the president was signaling in his great speech yesterday, he understands how fragile this regime is. The louder they bark, the weaker they are. You look at the demonstrations. The demonstrations in Iran now, unlike 2009 when we had the Green Revolution, they're not just centered around Tehran, they're all around the country. So Iran's in trouble and the president knows it, and maybe this is the time to squeeze them.
All right, let's see what happens. Dr. Sebastian Gorka joining us from our D.C. Bureau. Sebastian, thank you.